Michael Patrick Shields, heard all across the state of Michigan. Andy Hetzel is the Vice President of Corporate Communications for Blue Cross Blue Shield of Michigan. Their HQ is right downtown Detroit there, very close to Ford Field, and their new sort of occupation will be the Renaissance Center, that iconic building along the river there. Blue Cross will take one of the towers and move lots of workers, 2,000 or 3,000, if I'm not mistaken, from Southfield into that tower. And so it's fashionable all of a sudden, Andy Hetzel, it seems like, to move into the city of Detroit if the Pistons may be the next ones to do it. What do you think? Good morning.
It's great to be on the leading edge of a trend there, Michael Patrick.
That's right.
Hey, Buy Michigan Week was last week, but I think Mr. Ilitch just waited a few days longer. And, I think that it's a really positive thing for the city of Detroit to have people like the Ilitch family that are investors in the city that believe in its future, and we do too at Blue Cross, Michael, and we're excited to move our suburban workforce downtown and create one campus starting next year.
Well, the Pistons have been valued by Forbes at $479 million, so if the Ilitches do, in fact, buy the Pistons from Karen Davidson, it's a big price, but a part of what their plan, as we understand it yesterday, is they want to build a new arena downtown, too, that would house the Pistons and the Red Wings, and so that's good for the city. And really what you've done at Blue Cross is not only in Detroit, but you've made city centers active in Lansing and Grand Rapids, too.
That's right. We've been a downtown Detroit resident for 71 years, and we do believe in core cities. We've done work over time to move our workforces into core cities in Grand Rapids. In Lansing next year, when the Accident Fund opens its tremendous new national headquarters, we're going to move our suburban Blue Cross workers into downtown Lansing and continue to add some vitality to that business community. And here in Detroit, we're moving 3,000 employees downtown starting next year. So we are investors in core cities because we believe in that strong regions are grounded in the cities that they're based around. So that's something that we believe in.
One of the candidates for governor, Lansing Mayor Verge Bernero, has been talking about that for a long time, the way that the city's developed into donuts with a hole in the middle where the city is and everybody moved out to the outskirts and the suburbs and all that sort of thing. And he likes the idea, obviously, of reinvestment in the cities, and nobody was smiling bigger on that day that you started revamping that Ottawa Street Power Station into the Accident Fund headquarters than Mayor Bernero. And every morning I drive past it on my way here to our Gillespie Group storefront studio, and I look at that building, and I see the lights on inside, and I try to peek and see how things are going. And I understand it's on schedule for an April or even early finish next year.
Yeah, it is right on schedule, and I've walked through it, and it is spectacular to be able to have the opportunity to revitalize a National Historic Landmark right in the heart of a downtown community. And for your listeners that don't get to Lansing very often, to have that building revitalized, standing in between the Capitol and the hotel downtown and the beautiful riverfront and the convention center and the stadium downtown in the stadium district where your studio is, it really is a great thing for downtown Lansing, and we're very proud in the Blue Cross enterprise to be a part of that.
And that Renaissance Center, for what it's worth, it's taken some criticism over the years because the lower complex where the shops are and that sort of thing at one point was extremely complicated. It still is confusing until you get to know it a little bit. But the way that they've revamped the Winter Garden and created that atrium there along the river, it is an iconic Detroit building after, what has it been? I think it opened in 1974, 1975, something like that. There's no denying that when people think of the skyline of Detroit, they think of the Renaissance Center.
It is called the GM Renaissance Center now for a reason, Michael, and that is a credit to GM and the investment that organization has put into really revitalizing what is the heart of the downtown business district in Detroit. We're happy to be moving our employees into there and bringing the occupancy above 90%. And what that should do for the rest of the real estate community in downtown Detroit is it should make the other Class A space downtown that's vacant very attractive to businesses that are looking to move into Detroit, hopefully from outside the state or the region.
Yeah, and you've got the People Mover connecting the two buildings, too. I think it's one or two stops from the Renaissance Center to the Blue Cross headquarters. That'll be very convenient, unless you're interested in maybe a zip line or something like that from the Ren-Cen down to the Blue Cross building.
I'm not that brave.
I got about a minute and a half here, but I would like to hear something that I read in the Free Press. There's the ability for countless seniors now who don't have Medigap coverage to be able to afford it under a change at Blue Cross?
That's right, Michael. And really quickly, Blue Cross is the only insurer in Michigan that discounts its Medicare supplemental coverage. This is coverage that seniors can buy to fill the gaps in what Medicare doesn't cover. We discount it for every senior in Michigan, and we're going to continue to do that. But we've identified about 80,000 people in the state of Michigan that earn below $16,000 a year, who are struggling to get by, who need a break, and we have proposed to lower our premium for those people, to bring the premium under $100 a month, to hopefully extend coverage to more low-income seniors. We think it's important, and we filed that proposal with our regulators last week.
Well, congratulations, and thank you very much for looking out for us. It's bcbsm.com if you want to connect with Blue Cross Blue Shield of Michigan. Andy Hetzel, Vice President of Corporate Communications, Blue Cross Blue Shield of Michigan. Thank you very much. And cracks me up is that Tony Cuthbert is our audio director, and he plays the song Love is Blue by Paul Marriott to close out this segment in honor of Blue Cross Blue Shield of Michigan. These things don't get past me, Tony. Thank you very much for the creativity.